Hi everyone. Hello, ISA is 2020 and have a very good day to a persons that are very interested on my paper with the title of the calcium bentonite versus sodium bentonite, the benefit of calcium bentonite in soil foundations. Here I am today presenting my paper with the name of Nurmunira Muhammad and known as Munira. This is my picture with my daughter. At the day that I completed my PhD defense. So today I will talk about the paper. What is highlighted in this paper is about the usage of the calcium bentonite that adopted in the construction industry, especially in the soil stabilization activity, and a little bit on the experimental analysis that been made on the type of the bentonite, which is the calcium bentonite that we use or found from the British Columbia, Canada mine. So a little bit on highlights activity presentations of today is about the bentonite being used in the geotechnicals industry and how far you know about the bentonite. So Ms. I talk about this a little bit on the structures of bentonite and the type of bentonite. And finally, the bentonite used as a soil stabilizations. So a little bit or general idea, the bentonite that we use in industry, it's mainly used in the sealing material in the deep geological repository for safe storage on the highly radioactive nuclear waste in several countries are being used, also known, I know that it's been used in Canada as well. And this is a favorite material that be used for sealing the radioactive nuclear waste. And the other usage of the bentonite in the foundations or geotechnicals industry as drilling fluids, as a drilling fluids. And a little bit about the structure of the bentonite. So this bentonite is a clay mineral particles with two silica tetrahedral sheets sandwiched with a one aluminum octahedral sheets, and it's also known as smectite group because it's the main mineral group is a smectite, and the main mineral of the smectite group is the monorite. That's why it's known as a bentonite, because main mineral in the group is a monorite, which has a double diffusion layer. So when we say about the bentonite actually we have a few types of it, which is known as the sodium bentonite, calcium bentonite, and the third one is the activated sodium calcium bentonite. So what is difference? The main difference between the sodium bentonite and the calcium bentonite, it can be referred in three activities on the cations, swelling index, and the pH. So sodium bentonite is known as a high swelling clay because it has a very balance and for the sodium ions and the calcium ions. And the swelling index is between moderate to high with the pH levels between 9. For the calcium bentonites, it's been dominant with the calcium and magnesium ions, and with less, it still has the sodium, but it's not active. It's less active, and the swelling index in the low swelling index, which means that it has a very low swelling capacity with a neutral pH. Then the third type is the activated sodium calcium bentonite. It means that it activating the sodium, activated the calcium to reach similar or a higher swelling index with high exchangeable ion for sodium and calcium, extensive swelling index with the high pH between 9 to 10. So I'm not going to talk about the activated one because the activated, they have a different way to activate that calcium bentonite. And here for this research or for this paper is only talk about the calcium bentonite being used in the soil stabilizations activity, being used and the subgrade for subgrade stabilizations. Because when people say about bentonite, they say it's not good. It's a high swelling clay to be used for the subgrade. So usually they remove that for the subgrade soil. However, actually we can use the calcium bentonite as one of the catalysts for reactions to stabilize or to strengthen the strength of the weak subgrade soil. So this is the pictures to differentiate between the calcium bentonite and sodium bentonite. This is the experiment that's been used for test the swelling test, or also called as a free swell test. This method of preparations is following the ASTM D5890. So as can be seen from the left picture, after being left after being left between 16 to 24 hours, the swelling has only reached until 10 ml. However, in the similar amounts of the sodium bentonite, after being left from 16 to 24 hours, it's increased triple the swelling. That is more. It goes to more than 30 ml. In fact, from the Bradshaw et al., 2014, it studies on the effects of the cation concentrations in swell index. You can see here, when it has high swell index, the amount of the sodium cations is higher than the calcium and the magnesium. However, for the less swell index, there has amount of cation higher than the sodium. And this is the application of this calcium bentonite as an activator for soil. This is the proposed stabilization mechanism to generate the calcium silicate hydrates, or calcium aluminum silicate hydrates, or calcium aluminum hydrates. Or if there is a high magnesium activity, we can generate the magnesium silicate hydrate stabilization reactions. And finally, the last but not least, the present review shows the calcium bentonite has a potential use as a soil stabilizer biochemical stabilization methods, and the calcium bentonite has a major potential and a research opportunity to modify the physical chemical properties of a weak soil. And with the presence of the calcium magnesium cations in the calcium bentonite, it significantly change the behavior of the swelling index. And the bentonite has shifted the way of the clay soil classifications as a problematic soil. It says that physical chemical characteristics as well as the mineralogy morphological characteristics of the soil can improvise and modify. And finally, it can be used to replace the traditional methods, like replacing problematic soil with high bulk density soil and installation of expensive ready-made constructions on site. And thank you for your attention. And have a good day, everyone.